Here we are, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, on top of the red Terran player. Give it up for the Korean player from Dust Gaming. It's Sonagi. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. We have the blue Protoss player, our hero for the day, since this is from his sub-replay pack. Give it up for Rotterdam. I actually don't know, is Rotterdam still technically a member of Root Gaming? He used to be known as Rotterdam, because it was a clever way of including the name Root inside of his name. But, alright, Protoss versus Terran, Newkirk Precinct. We saw in that last game, in case you missed out on it, that Rotterdam went for a pretty fun and kind of quirky style where he tried to go for a blink opening and then got obliterated by Widowmine drops that he just didn't quite notice, and his entire attack timing got pushed back because he was going for an 8-gate all-in, and he researched charge and everything, and then he went for the attack, but it was a little bit too late, and he kind of just walked in through a big choke point and lost all of his units. It was a miserable affair. I love Rotterdam, but I'm sorry, Roddy, that was a bit of a miserable affair. Hopefully we're going to be seeing a bit cooler of a game this time. Newkirk Precinct, I like to bring up that Rotterdam, I always think of him as one of those Stargate players, even though we haven't seen any of his Stargates plays and any of the replays so far today. He is very much, we'll give Sonagi one game. For those who are wondering also, this kind of just denotes his total score, since I'm also streaming this if you're watching this on YouTube. But this is the Rotterdam's total score against the ladder in his sub-replay pack. So you can see that he is including games that he's lost, like that last game that I was talking about. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Rotterdam does like to go for some of the Stargate plays. I think that he is a big fan of the Phoenix. And there we are. Stargate gonna be coming out. I love Stargate plays on Newkirk Precinct just because there's so much dead airspace. It's actually really easy to justify going for it. And of course, even Liberators coming in from this kind of angle over here, or situating themselves in the main base, you can kind of come in, siege up over here. It's a little bit harder since there's a lot of dead space behind the natural expansion mineral line. So Stalkers have an easy time getting in on top of those Liberators, but it's really about this kind of airspace over here. Having medevacs just sit in this kind of corner or this kind of corner and just taunt you, knowing, oh god, I can't move out until I take care of this. I've got to do something. It really does make Stargate play a lot more appealing. Sonagi is playing pretty interestingly defensively, not only getting a bunker on the low ground, but also getting an engineering bay. A bunker on the low ground is mostly for what I would assume be the pylon rushes, but the timing for a pylon rush is pretty much already passed. I mean, the Adept and the Probe would already be here, and he should have sent out that the early Reaper to see that something like that would have been the case. But I mean, he should be able to salvage this now. I'm not sure what Sonagi is really scared of. He's seen the natural expansion now with the Reaper, so... Was the Reaper? No, SCV. He just sent in an SCV scout. So you should know 100% that there's not going to be any kind of big pylon rush or big all-in. I really wonder what Sonagi is so paranoid about. Even with the engineering bay, it's just like a blind counter to oracles, but he gets that super early. I mean, yeah, you can see the first Phoenix is out. Oh, sorry, the first 2 Phoenix are out, so I guess an oracle would be hitting it around now. It's just so interesting how paranoid Sonagi's been. I wonder if this is not the first game that they played in a row. Maybe Rotterdam tried to go for some kind of crazy all-in, but Phoenix are going to be revealed. Picking up the Reaper, trying to deny a bit more scouting information, but really after seeing 3 Phoenix, that's pretty much all the scouting information you really need. Either way, though, all of these defensive mechanisms do end up causing a lot of problems to your economy. It's a big investment. Sonagi has all these missile turrets, so he's going to be cutting into that kind of additional production. I mean, just you can imagine 75 minerals for each of these missile turrets, plus the engineering bay this early on. Yeah, he's eventually getting up a +1 missile attack upgrade, but all of that could have been an extra barracks. It could have been some more Marines. It could have been a faster refinery to get up a quicker tech lab or something for faster stim. Widowmine attack, though, on those Phoenix is really nice for Sonagi. He takes out one of them, softens up a lot of the rest of them. He's going to be able to push them back. Rotterdam really wants to keep those Phoenix alive for as long as possible, at least until he gets a 5 or so, because that is the magic number where you can suddenly start taking out medevacs and just completely denying drops as they try and move across the map. You still have to be very on point with your micro, but wait a second. Ladies and gentlemen, there are no upgrades for Rotterdam, and he's researching air weapons right now. He's got one gateway. He's not making anything out of it. Rotterdam is going full sky toss. There's the second gateway that's finishing up. Rotterdam is going 100% all in on sky toss. All right, okay, here we go. There is no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this decision. And maybe this is the reason why Sonagi was going so crazy paranoid on the missile turrets and everything else. It doesn't quite explain the bunker. Maybe he got pylon rushed again, but he may have just had a big sky toss game versus Rotterdam earlier on, where he made a bunch of oracles or Phoenix and caused all sorts of problems. But quite a few Phoenix already out on the map right now, and he is not going to be going for a third expansion just yet. Oh, wait a second. Probe up in here on the top. Oh, this is so cheeky. Rotterdam going for the hidden expansion in the top left. Now, that could get caught by a drop potentially, theoretically, but how likely is somebody to drop against this many Phoenix? Feels incredibly unlikely. And not only that, but it's actually kind of a safe expansion in the sense that Rotterdam's main army is Phoenix. Phoenix are ultra mobile units that can actually get up there very, very quickly. They have a good amount of map control and map vision. So the time it would take for Sonagi to even move out across the map, theoretically, you hope to scout out your opponent moving with any of their army, with these Phoenix, well before they get up to that top left-hand corner, even if they do scout it out. Phoenix trying to, again, kill off that one medevac. One of them does get very, very low in health, but not quite going to get sniped off, and Rotterdam knows he's got to be very careful. He's going to try and pick away at those medevacs, I think, and Sonagi, you can see, he's trying to siphon off some of these units of the south side of the medevacs, trying to create a bit of a protective barrier for them, but also leading with a few more of those Marines. Third expansion is starting to get up over there for Rotterdam. Good vision from Sonagi. He spots out that observer and immediately scans and picks it off. It's going to be really, really useful versus these Widow Mines, because remember, there's no oracles out, there's no revelations that can be thrown down. If he doesn't have any form of detection over here, he cannot lift up and take out those Widow Mines unless they are unburrowed. But here we go, Marines being lifted up. Gotta be so careful, the Widow Mines are burrowed, and there they are. Getting some really good shield damage done on some of these Phoenix, but surprisingly enough, with Photon Overcharge, Rotterdam holds on at the top of the ramp. He spots out 3 more Widow Mines being burrowed, and oh god, Sonagi snipes off another observer. One more observer is out now, so Rotterdam's not completely up a creek without a paddle, but Sonagi takes the third expansion behind this. Rotterdam only mining from that really mining from that one gas guys. We've got 3 probes on minerals, but I guess gas is the kind of main limiting factor right now, sitting up at a 800 mineral bank. Maybe even throwing down some more photon cannons wouldn't be the worst idea. This is effectively, I mean, he's got one stalker out. I don't even know what that one stalker is doing, but there we go. A big lift up on every single one of the Widow Mines. None of them get a burrow off and get a shot off. Really, really well done by Rotterdam. He cleans up all the Marines, he cleans up all the Marauders, and the Phoenix, or sorry, the medevacs are going to make their way to the north side. Some of the Marines and Marauders have made their way over here to try and take out this third expansion, but it looks like Rotterdam should be able to save it. A photon cannon also goes out. There weren't too many workers over here, but more reinforcements coming over here for Sonagi, and guess what? Those Widow Mines burrow once again. Photon cannon gets taken out. There's no forms of detection over here for Rotterdam. And he's got a lot of Phoenix. He could take out these Marines probably. He could take the direct engagement, but you have to remember, a big amount of the a big factor for him taking engagements is also that energy, and lifting up these Marines, so many of them, is quite costly to the energy count. He's starting to replenish that energy now. He can actually take another engagement soon, but gotta be so careful. Oh, no missile turrets over here at the third. If he actually starts to take out some of these SCVs building the missile turrets, he could legitimately start denying mining over here. Does complete the missile turret at the last second. Queen eats the second missile turret as well, but Rotterdam lost his third expansion and has got to be so, so careful. Yeah, I think he might have like 1 or 2 lifts up in still in him, but he is seriously starting to run out very quickly. Both Widow Mines, I guess it's an okay trade for Rotterdam. It's not super ideal, but yeah, he is now out of lifts. He's just going to go after the medevacs, snipe those off. Got to get out of there, though. It's kind of an odd thought to think that 1 Phoenix per Widow Mine is an okay-ish trade for Rotterdam. But I think it is kind of okay. And he is not even throwing down a fleet beacon. That is the super surprising part about this for me. Not even getting up +2 air weapons. I guess he is on a low economy situation. He really needs all the gas he can spare. On the other hand, Sonagi's actually got a little bit of a gas bank building up. Oh, Rotterdam, be careful of those observers. Sonagi's got eyes like a hawk. They'll scan and kill him off in an instant. And there it is. Doesn't even need to have them moving. Well, Rotterdam's going to be relying on a lot of footage and overcharges, but that first pylon gets immediately smoked. And oh god, there are so many Widow Mines there! Rotterdam's Phoenix count gets taken out. GG gets called. A valiant effort, but once again, the latter wins versus Rotterdam. GG, well played by Sonagi.